Hey everybody, Tony here, coming to you with a cautionary tale, something that happened to me. It could happen to anybody out there, really. Be careful when you go to some of these thrift stores. Now, I'm not talking about, like your Goodwills, some of your major chains, and for some reason, I'm not even thinking of the other major chains right now. There's a thrift store that we've been to a bit. Found some decent stuff there, but
We've actually found some great stuff
we
there.
found some great
This
stuff.
isn't just about that store. It's
Yeah,
about any
any
store
store.
that's using.
It's an ELO point of sale system, and you're going to see those anywhere. I mean, restaurants have them now. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't go to a flea market and see somebody with one. It seems like they're
Or
popping
yard
up
sales.
everywhere. So, this is what happened to me at this store. They got a new cash register. This was a few weeks ago. So, I get 40 some dollars worth of stuff. Go up there, give them my debit card. They ran it. Well, we're having problems with it. And I think they tried to run it a couple times. And I said, you know what? I happened to have some cash on me at that time, which is kind of odd. So I pulled out a 50, paid for it. They gave me my change. I left. We were back in there a week later. We got $26,
23.
$23 and like 60 cents, something like that, worth of stuff. They tried to run it 5 times. The fifth time finally went through. It's like, okay, get my stuff home. That night, I just happened to look at my bank account. It went through 5 times.
So it didn't actually go through at that
Well, it
point.
was
It
pending.
was pending.
So Amy's like, you better look previously. So I looked back, and sure enough, the 40 some dollar one had gone through. So the next day, I called the thrift store up.
So at this point, we're out about $140
Yeah,
more than we should have been. So the reason we're telling this is, that's a lot of money.
yeah.
If for some reason you didn't have that in your account, you could have been hit with a ton of overage fees.
Yeah. So I call them up the next day, and they're like, there's nothing we can do about it while it's pending. This is the people at the thrift store. They're like, we've not had this issue with anybody else. And I really don't think they did it on purpose. I really don't. But they looked. Well, actually, I talked to a manager. Had to leave work early that day. Went by my bank. The bank told me nothing we can do while it's pending. So that money was tied up. I mean, it just was. Not a thing could be done about it. I go to the thrift store. I take copies of my receipts and stuff. This is a non-profit thrift store. It's kind of religious based, I think. Amy's saying that one's not. Not really sure.
That part doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter. So they're like, honestly, we don't know what to do because we don't give refunds. So something had happened. The manager had to leave. They asked me to give them to the end of the week. That was like 3 days. So I did. Moral of the story is they finally worked it out. They refunded.
Yeah, Friday, 4 of those 23s went back.
Yeah, because I owed them the one. So they did go through, even though my bank was telling me it shouldn't have. They went through, so they actually figured a way to refund me the 423, whatever it was, and gave me cash back for the 44, whatever it was from the week earlier. And then they did tell me that they'd had 3 other people. I don't know if it's 3 others or 3, including me, that had came up with those issues. So my advice, I'm sorry this is long and drawn out. Take cash with you for stuff like that, and that's what I did today through the entire process. Even though I do trust Goodwill, I've not had an issue there. Really, the only place I've ever had the issue was the one place. So just be careful, especially everybody's got these little square terminals now. They plug into their phone. And as of yet, I've not had an issue with one of those, but I'm still kind of wary of it. So there are a couple places that use the little square plugins that we have paid with debit cards, but it's a place we've gone to a lot, through the years basically. Some of these places, we've got to know them so well. Like today, they're like, "Hey, we've got a killer deal on something. I'm not telling you about it. You're gonna see it later. Yeah, if it really does pan out." But we actually had a cashier at one store tell us she loved us as we were leaving. So
I still don't remember. I
yeah.
still didn't hear her say that.
So anyway, some of the people at these stores have really got to know us well. So we do kind of trust them. But going forward, I'm going to try to do this all cash. And that's a good way to set a budget. It's like, I've got $50 I can spend on thrifting or whatever. You pull that $50 out, well, I guess it'd have to be either 40 or 60 from your ATMs. Then that's all you've got. So you don't get a surprise, come the end of the week.
And that forces you to make much better decisions whether you're buying for your home
Yeah.
or buying for resale. You're going to take your time a bit more. You're going to look at things more thoroughly. You're going to think about things more. Yeah.
So, learn from my mistake. I hope this doesn't happen to you. If it has happened to you, let us know below. Tell us, if it was straightened out or, what happened.
And if you ever have encountered this problem, like recently, or if you ever encounter it in the future, check your bank account.
Yeah.
Because I just happen to say, hey, you know what? You better check the other transaction.
Yeah. And I don't mean to put down the ELO system. I mean, it was brand new. They didn't really know how to use it. Apparently,
the internet kept going out.
Yeah, the internet was, I don't know if it was really the internet at that location or maybe it was a bad router, whatever they were having, issues with. Because everything in that store seems to be run over the internet, the music, and it's like it kept dying. So I don't know, again, I'm not sitting here trying to bash a specific store or the cash point of sale system.
No, in fact, when they gave us the refund, when we got our stuff, because, we were going to shop again.
Yeah.
They gave us a 20% discount.
Yeah, so that's why I say I don't really think they were trying to do anything shady. I think it was just a bad circumstance. And they did learn a lot about their system when they were getting this straightened out. So hopefully that hasn't happened to anybody since. So anyway, that's my little tale, my warning to you. I know this kind of dragged on a little bit, but anyway, good luck out there thrifting or, anywhere really. Doesn't hurt to keep a close eye on your accounts. Gas, wherever.
Yeah, it never hurts to check your bank account every once in a while and make sure. Yeah, because that happened too. Yeah. And it's a tale for another day, but Tony had $500 go through from it was like some gaming thing overseas.
Yeah, so, be careful with it. Amy had a little issue one time.
Yeah, I did.
With, you've had a couple. One was with a local grocery store. Went in, paid with your debit card, and they hadn't cleared the previous person's amount.
Oh, yeah.
And because we got out of there and looked, and it's like, hey, we didn't spend near that much. So, yeah. It can happen, be careful.
And then it either happened at Dollar General or a pizza place that my card number got stolen.
Yeah.
So somewhere either had a reader or I'm betting still it was the pizza place because my card was handed to them. So.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
You never know. Mine got caught one time, and that whole month I'd only used it at two places. One was to get gas, and one was at a restaurant. And again, handed the waiter my card. They disappeared behind the little wall and came back later. So who knows? You know, not saying it was the grocery store or the.
You said restaurant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not saying it was the restaurant or the gas station. I don't know, but you never know. Anyway, going to wrap this up. Hopefully, I haven't bored anybody. Hope everybody has a great day out there. Remember, hit that bell so you know when Amy does another video. Bye.